Hello and thank you so much for clicking. Color Expression here, bringing you a really fun stamping tutorial. So if you watched my video the other day about the new Holo Electric Holos collection, you may have seen that really cool retro like 80s 90s inspired manicure that I did. Well, people seemed to really love that look, and so I figured how could I not bring that tutorial to the channel to show you guys how to create that exact manicure for yourselves. We're using a bunch of Maniology stuff today, which is super high quality, and I love their products so much, and I do actually have an affiliate code with them, so if you choose to buy any of their stuff, you can use the code COLOR10 at checkout, which I'll put that down below. You can use that code and you can actually get 10% off your order, so definitely consider doing that. You can get a little discount and have a lot of fun trying out some new stamping supplies. And before we get into it, I do just want to say hello and welcome to any new viewers or subscribers. I really appreciate you coming here and clicking and choosing to come along for this tutorial. If you enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like and comment your thoughts down below. I do respond to every single comment, and if you are not subscribed, I do hope that you will consider subscribing if you find any enjoyment in today's video. But enough of me, let's get to the tutorial. So I did want to showcase the two plates that we're using to create this look. This first one is the MXM009, and we're using this whole right side, just all these different shapes to create that really cool like movie theater carpet, retro like coach bus seat design. And then this is the plate that I used for the other nails, which this is MXM010. You can see that cool kind of like sun with like the sun rays coming off. Then we have this really cool like design with all these triangles and lines and squares and stuff. And then this one, a lot of people said reminded them of Nightmare Before Christmas, which I think is so funny. But then this was the like geometric triangles pattern. I know I'm back again, but I had to just say about these plates, you do need to be a current monthly Mani by Me subscriber in order to access the webpage to actually purchase these two plates, but I did scour their website for similar designs and things that would look really cool with this look also, so let's take a look at those. So first up, we have this set of 5, which is the Shape Nouveau collection, which again, all these links will be down below, but these 5 plates would really complete this manicure if you don't want to sign up for the Mani by Me box. This first one here, you can see those patterns kind of in the center, and to the top right I'll put a little star. Those ones would be like so perfect in my opinion for the carpet design. Same with those ones right up here. Then moving on, we have this plate, which I think has a lot of awesome just fun little designs and geometric things that also would look really good for that carpeted look. And this one also actually has the alphabet and numbers, so I love having that on stamping plates. That's just a me thing. But then there's this final one, which would have some of those kind of full nail designs with that bigger piece right here, and then even some of these smaller designs would just look really good to create that carpeted look also. Then we had the New Modern Shape Up plate here, which a lot of these ones would look really great for that full nail design to fill in those like accent colors. And then same with this New Modern Dimensional plate. Some of these full nail designs are going to look really cute to do that reverse stamping that we'll look at in a moment. And then finally, this plate again had really great designs. Probably my favorite of these plates to do those full nails with the reverse stamping. And now on to the rest of the supplies. I'm using a Peely base, but you can use your base coat of choice. And then I am also using Super Glossy Taco from Holo Taco. And if you didn't know, you can actually tell them apart without looking at the label because the top coats have a clear brush and the base coats have a black brush. Then of course our linear holos, so we have circuit breaker on the left and electrostatic on the right. We're going to use these as the bases for the manicure. And then here we have hydropower, full charge, and hot wire pink, which we are going to reverse stamp with, which if you feel intimidated by this, just do it along with the video, take it slow, and I know that you can accomplish it. So just take your time and try again if it doesn't work out because it's super fun. Then we have our Maniology Straight Up Black, the sticky base coat, and the no smudge top coat. And then for that other design, I forgot to film them, but we're using these 5 additional Maniology polishes as well, and we're gonna just take all those and randomly use them to create the look, which you'll see that in a few minutes. Then of course we'll need some stampers, so I do have 3 stampers, 2 ice cubes, and a monocle, which the more you have, kind of the easier it can be to reverse stamp because you could work on more than one stamp at the same time. Then we have our scraper card, which of course you're going to need to scrape that stamping polish. Then I have some tools, which is a dotting tool and a cuticle pusher that has this really sharp end, which I like to use to kind of chop off the vinyl, but you could also use tweezers, which we'll look at that while we're in the tutorial. So our first step is going to be apply your base coat, of course. So like I said, I am using a peely base so I can pop these off and keep them because they're going to be super cool, but feel free to use your base coat of choice because these nails should remove easily. So I did apply the black polish to my accent nail, and then we're going to put that one on the thumb as well, just so we can do that design twice because I really liked it. And then we're using silver polish on the pinky, middle, and pointer fingers. So starting out with our pinky nail, we're going to use this little geometric kind of triangle and dot design. So I put down my black stamping polish, I scraped that off, and I noticed some of the lines looked a little bit like dirtied, like not clear, so I did go in for one final scrape, and then we picked that up. I'm glad I did that scrape because this was an awesome pickup. I am super happy with how this one turned out. So now we're going to grab our Scotch tape, get that little bit of extra off the edge because we don't want that getting on our finger or our nail. Then I'm gonna dot some of my polish down, starting out with the green one. Gonna grab my dotting tool, and we're just slowly going to pick up little bits of polish from that dot on the mat, and we're just gonna fill in our stamp. So you do wanna wait a little bit after you pick up the stamp for it to dry, not long at all, like probably less than a minute, and then you can come in with your reverse stamping colors and get to work on filling in whatever you wanna fill in. And I did leave this first part in real time just so you could see how slowly I am actually working, and I'm taking my time while I'm doing this because you don't want to go too fast and then end up messing up that stamp, but you also don't want to go too slow and let that polish dry too much on the stamp because your dotting tool actually can pick it back up. So coming in with our second color, which is the blue, I'm just going to wipe that dotting tool off. I just dipped it in some acetone, rubbed it on a paper towel just to make sure it was all clean and ready for this next color. And now let's speed this up so we can continue on because we have a lot of nails to go over in this video. So now I'm just gonna dot down some pink. Again, I cleaned that dotting tool in between, and we're just gonna work to fill in this square. And I liked these designs because I felt like you could leave some spots blank and it would still look really good and allow the base of the silver linear holo to come through. And something I love about my silicone mat, you can see right here how easy it was to just wipe that polish up. So I totally recommend getting a silicone mat if you don't have one already. And since our polish has sat to dry on the nail for so long, we want to come in with our Maniology sticky base, which is going to dry and leave a tacky surface that this stamp is still going to want to stick to. Otherwise, it's just going to stay on the stamper and be a mess. But now we're going to carefully line up our stamp, gently press down, just wiggle lightly back and forth to make sure that that whole nail got covered with the stamp, and then gently pull up. And so this is where, like I said, that kind of sharper cuticle pusher is going to come in handy. We can just chop the edges of that stamp off, so any of that excess sticking over, it's really easy to remove because it was already dry on the stamp. And if you don't have a cuticle pusher like that, you could also use tweezers and gently pull like this, or you could also use a wood stick. So if you use those for cleanup and have those on hand, those also would work perfectly for this. But now I'm just taking a brush with some acetone and just cleaning up these edges a little bit, and then we're gonna let this nail dry for a few before we apply our no smudge top coat. Moving on to nail number 2, which is actually going to be the middle finger. We're gonna save the carpet design for last, but it's gonna be pretty much the same process for each of the nails in this video. We're gonna pick up our stamp, we're gonna let it dry for a little bit, Then we're going to dot out our colors and very carefully apply those onto that stamp. And again, you don't need to wait too long once you pick that stamp up. You can pretty much like set it down and start going. And my rule of thumb is after I finish doing the reverse stamping, I'll then apply my sticky base coat to the nail, let that dry for 2 to 3 minutes, and in the meantime the stamp has been finishing drying as well. Like these polishes that you're putting on should be dry by that time. So that's the order I like to do it in, is do the reverse stamp on the stamp, then apply my sticky base to the nail, and then the stamp should be ready to go and you shouldn't have any issues. So we're gonna come in with that sticky base, let that dry just for a little bit, then we're going to grab our stamper. And again, I really wanted to make sure that I lined this up well, just to make sure that I got as close to the cuticle and to the edge of my nail as possible. So that is something that is a little bit tricky with stamping, is like getting designs right up into your cuticle area. But I think with practice, that's just something that I'll learn how to do. But we slowly stamped this down and gently lifted it off, and you can see we waited long enough to dry, so the stamp went on perfectly, and I'm just super happy with how these are turning out. I love this look so much, and it's so easy to do this cleanup. You can see I just chopped those right off and then grabbed some tweezers and tucked this under, and now we're moving on to the next nail, which I really wasn't happy with this first pickup. It just had some streakiness and smears, so I grabbed my Q-tip and cleaned the plate off so we could try that again for round 2, which this pickup went much nicer and the lines were way cleaner, so I'm definitely glad that I took the time to try that again. Then I grabbed my tape to just clean off some of that excess, and there's still a little bit more, but I am going to grab it in a moment. And then again, we're just carefully coming in with that dotting tool, really gently just filling in these sections with color. And I liked this pattern because it kind of had some spots where I could like put dashes of color in more than one spot. So the other nails seem to just be like big blocks of each color, but this one got to put some blue down next to the green and green up near the blue. So I really liked that about this specific plate design. And then again, we're gonna come in with our sticky base. This one, I really liked how much transparency there was, so it was super easy to line it up above the nail. Then we'll just gently push down, make sure that we get all the way to the edges of the nail. We don't want any gaps, like I said last time, and that's something that is just gonna come with practice with stamping. It's still something that I'm not perfect at, so you might notice some of the edges have a little bit of that base color popping through, but that's no big deal. I don't think it takes away from the design. If anything, it gives it some character, you know? But again, just going to grab a little brush with some acetone to clean up those edges a little bit more, and then we'll move on to the next design. So this nail is going to take a little bit more work and is a little bit more time consuming, but I think that it's my favorite of this manicure, so it's definitely worth it. So I just started out there with that sticky base coat, and then like I said in the beginning, I'm using the whole one side of that plate, and I just chose random designs, like whatever I was feeling in the moment. So I used the yellow polish, I grabbed that S design, then I decided let's put a yellow triangle on, so I did that. I picked it up, we popped that one down, and then I just continued on. I switched out my polishes, like the colors, I switched out which design I was doing, and I didn't clean the plate in between every design either. I didn't go over any design twice, but you'll see I'm just using different random spots on the plate, picking up different shapes, cleaning up the stamper with some tape, and then putting those designs down and repeating the whole process over again. So I think the more little and unique designs that you do kind of give more character to this nail in the end. I think that it just comes out so cute with all the different shapes and colors, and really just brings me back to one of those like carpets at the movie theater or the arcade, or just something really nostalgic. So I love that about this nail, and I honestly couldn't have planned it to come out any better than it did. And I did that same design to my thumb off camera, but now we're going to come in with our smudge-free top coat before we put on our regular glossy top coat, just to make sure that we don't mess up any of these really small stamped details, because Imagine going through all that work and then you just smudge your whole design with regular top coat. That would not be good. So definitely recommend the smudge-free top coat from Maniology. So far, every time I've used it, it has worked perfectly as intended. I've had no dragging issues. I haven't messed up a single stamping design with it. So I love that they have this product and that it seems like they really innovated stamping for the modern day. I can't imagine original stamping. I've seen some people in the comments say how they are wearing clear stampers and just all this stuff, so I'm glad that they made it so convenient and easy to do nowadays. But after our super glossy taco was applied off camera, we are going to look at the final manicure, which again, I am just so happy with how these came out. They give me such warm fuzzies inside. I think that each design looks so cute and they just bring such joy to me. I haven't done a lot of manicures that bring me this much joy, but I am just absolutely obsessed with this design and these colors and just the whole feel that this manicure brings. I absolutely love it. So make sure you let me know your thoughts down below as well. And here we're going to look at it out in the sunset. You can really see those hollow lines going up and down the nails. And in person, again, this is gonna look way better because we all know that holo is just something else when you're experiencing it in person. The internet really cannot capture how beautiful and stunning and mesmerizing it is. So we'll take a few final looks at these, another shot in the indoor lighting so you can really see the designs coming through. But I really hope that you enjoyed this whole process and seeing how this was done because I really loved sharing it with you guys. So there we have it, the finished manicure. What do you think? Was it worth the effort to get this final look? I think it was. That's why I did it twice, to bring it to you guys as a tutorial, but let me know all of your thoughts down below. Once again, if you're not currently subscribed, I do hope that you'll consider subscribing. I upload 2 to 3 new videos a week, so make sure you do hit that bell down below so you get notified when those go live. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter, which are both linked down below, and I'll make a post there whenever there's a new video as well. That's going to be it for today. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Ouch, that's hot. What do you think? Should we do an ASMR tutorial where I just whisper all of the instructions? This feels so creepy. I feel like I'm in bed.